supposed to happen. I think I started early. Yep, I started early. I forgot to check that little box right there. Normally, I just click start streaming so that it shows up. And then I click start streaming. But YouTube pulled a 180 on me. The stream hasn't started yet. You're not seeing me. This isn't real. It's not 4 o'clock yet. It's good audio check, check. Hey, what's up, Skywalker? Let's try that again. Hey, what's up, Skywalker of the Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday the 19th. Sound like a trombone. And that means it's time for our normally scheduled, maybe changing in the near future because things, live stream, and to talk about all kinds of fun things and enjoyable things and, you know, just things that make me happy, things that make you happy, things that make Rex sleep. He's in his air-conditioned spot today. So he's probably not back here on the carpet anymore. I missed my puppy behind me, but that's all right. Now I can use my foot to control the pan and tilt on little Rexor. So hello, how is everyone? Are you doing well? Are you doing fantastic? I've been having so much fun testing this little guy out. He's so cute. He's so fun. Having a blast. Here to answer tons of questions about the little Komodo-X. Should you have any that you did not get answered yet? And stuff and things, and we'll just chit chat. I have a horrible, bad prop that has been bad. It needs to be punished by destroying it, by burning it. But I will do that after we get through the initial onslaught of any Komodo-X questions, because this is not my Komodo-X. This is on loan to me by Voice and Video Sales to do a review on, which I will need to return this unit next week. But this unit will be a demo unit and will be available for sale at voiceofvideosales.com. It was very nice of him to send that over. So yeah, I'm gonna plug that. But I'm not going to burn this prop around this Komodo-X, because despite how wonderful these are, the person who buys this may not appreciate that. So this will go into a completely other room, because I care. I really do. I'm one of those people that cares. So what do we got going on here? Right off the bat, we've got, that's just me answering a question without the question being asked. Michael says, Scott, jumping in early. Were you able to identify autofocus improvements? Yes, indeed, I was. And there goes Rex. That was like a 15-second. Yeah, actually, there's some pretty darn good improvements on it. I posted a little video on Facebook. I will add that into my review. Basically, I was just monitoring and screen recording the RED Control app with focus on this, using literally this beast, 70-200 Canon 2.8 with a 2X Canon on it. And all of that set to autofocus. And literally, I just moved it around, pointed, and we're talking like way off in the distance, relatively close, and it nailed focus every single time. I had it all morning, sorry. I was recording antelope. Then a little snappy, I just see myself 30 seconds later. Antelope in that field that I posted that video of, and I just tap the antelope, and I just follow him around, and it stays on focus. It's pretty amazing. It's not Sony or Canon. It is not. But it is the closest I have seen to date. And it is definitely better than V-RAPTOR. And V-RAPTOR is definitely better than Komodo. So it's good. Good things. Yeah. And Artist Effects, thank you for becoming a friend of the channel. We really appreciate all of our channel members around here, because it helps. It helps me make these wonderful things. It helps people like Bill from Voice of Video Sales want to share this with me and then have it sent back. I mean, it's that kind of things. Growing this community, it's all good. We appreciate you. And let's go down here. Anthony says, sound check, anyone? Why? What are you saying? There's bad audio on this channel? I've never heard any bad audio. No, I've literally never heard it. But, I don't know. Pablo says, hey, I'm new to RED. I won't get my Komodo-X until tomorrow. I heard somewhere that the app, which I was planning on using as a monitor for gimbal work, does not show focus peaking. Has that been changed? It does. No, wait. Focus peaking. I don't know. That is a good question, actually. Focus peaking. I don't know if it does. There is a brand new version that was updated for Komodo-X. I did not test the focus peaking on it to see if it has it or not. I did use peaking, which is weird. It's weird because you're not going to get a 4K image on your iPad, so you end up with giant amounts of peaking. Pretty funny. Ollie says, live 3 of 3 this week. All right. Oh, yeah. Barefoot's like, let's go. Anthony says, still nothing from CVP. That's funny. I thought RED sent cameras to CVP. I guess the deja vu for the Komodo days. So what I understand, and I'm just going to piece this together from what I've gathered versus what I may or may not know, which is, I don't know anything, that there was a huge allotment of cameras that were made in Stormtrooper fashion. They were to last basically until the production normal black colored cameras are released. And that was going to be, I'm guessing, based upon what they're saying, somewhere in July. So they anticipated these Stormtroopers to last until July. And so they have all the parts, they have everything, but they didn't anticipate needing to ship off all Stormtroopers at once because all RED sold out in 2 hours and all dealers around the world that had allocations of them sold out in 24 hours. So there are still Stormtroopers being, I guess, made on the assembly line and tested today. They're probably being accelerated like crazy right now just to get all those out. So they are going out as fast as they can. I believe they have everything for all the Stormtroopers. I don't know. I've not specifically asked, and I don't know that I would be told the answer if there were. But if you were in the initial batch, then you probably already got a shipping notification. The second batch is probably on its way or is about to be on its way. So stand by, Anthony. It's coming. I mean, if they told you that you have an allocated camera, then you're going to get one. And I don't think it's going to be June. I hope not. But for everybody else who has not ordered yet, when the production camera comes into play, maybe the end of June or so, you should expect long lines. I think they're going to have a ton of them for sale, but just judging by how popular this camera was at launch, and personally having tested this for the last few days now, this camera is going to sell like crazy. This solves so many problems that people who using Komodo as an A-cam wanted. This solves it. Some people who said, well, I don't want to jump into Komodo because it doesn't have all these features. This has it. So when they drop, there is going to be a mad rush. So I would be very, very in tune to everything that Jared says online as to when pre-orders might happen. Hold on. So that you can be prepared and ready to go and order. So that you can get some of the fastest ones. Because I think, supply chain is way better than it was during Komodo days, but I think just the quantity of demand for this camera is going to keep it on back order for a while, which kind of sucks for me. But I'm hoping that, because right now, it looks like all of my, well, if I filled out my freaking invoice today, which I forgot to do again, all of my money for a Komodo-X should be here by about the third week in June. So I'm hoping pre-orders are not made until then. Not to screw everybody else out of it, but just so I can score one of the first ones. And so that is what I'm thinking. Don't know for certain. Of course, there's no certainty, but you know, there's a lot of people right now scratching their heads, trying to figure out, how do we get that so off? In the bestest possible way. Okay, let's get through here. Sound is great. Is this a miracle? It is a Christmas miracle. You know why? Because I'm not using SoundStream. See? No SoundStream. No problem. But because of that, I can't have guests on now. So I've got to find that solution. Well, we have modules and monitor week to look forward to. That's true. We could do that. Hopefully, well, I think those are going to drop before, I don't know. Maybe we're not that far from Cine Gear. Maybe they won't. I don't know. They might. Barefoot Production. Hello. Next week, my cam is incoming from Germany. Yay. Luca. Hello, Luca. Camille. Hello, Camille from the Netherlands. Carlos Quintero. Hey, Carlos. I heard you got a delivery today. Are you excited? Is it cool? You like it? Hello, Frank. How are you? What's up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Timecode. Hey, buddy. Hey, Ari. How's it going? Let's go. All right. Which prop is that? Well, this one is a different one. This one is the... You actually can't see that, can you? This is the... I'm not going to focus because why should I? It's a CAO flathead 660. That's what that is. It's not my special collection, Ari. That's what the wifey brought me. Anthony says, question one, Scott, why the biggest European seller has no Komodo-X? I thought Jared said they had them. Oh, do you know more about? I think I just answered that actually, didn't I? Hopefully that answered that for you. Camille says, smash that like button. Yep, that's welcome. Smash the like button. Yep, I agree with that. That sounds like a good idea. Ollie says, Anthony, I rang them today. They said they had only 10 units that sold out instantly. Right. So they're going to get more. They're going to get more. There's no way that the biggest reseller in Europe is only getting 10 of the hundreds and hundreds of these that are being made and are still being made. Don't worry. It's coming. These are all from probably before I answered that question. Check the whole world. No one has it. Yes. Everyone got an initial small batch. And then from there, I didn't know what to say. They said black due to ship at end of June. Right. They will get them. Brian says, hey, Scott, Komodo and X have the exact same screen. Yes, the screen is the same. I mean, as far as I know, I believe they're literally the same screen. However, under the hood is more horsepower, and so the UI is much snappier, like a lot snappier. It feels, well, kind of like an iPhone, really. What do you think of the white? I'm lucky to have one on hold in white, but wondering if I should wait for black. I know glare can be an issue. Okay, I have never experienced glare from a camera it can happen for sure. But you can also protect that. I mean, when you're staring at camera, that's the amount of white you're seeing. But what's in front of that amount of white? A giant reflective piece of glass. It is far, far, far more reflective than the color white. And all it takes is a little bit of effort and you'll never see it. I mean, they hide entire cameras from mirrors and such. It can be done. It's not a problem. I wouldn't be so worried about the white versus black. And I mean, there are literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of white cameras out there that have been out there forever. I mean, RED has been releasing Stormtroopers for quite a while. And I don't remember, maybe it's possible, but you know how we all watch movies and we're like, hey, you can see the mic boom dropping in from the top. I don't remember anyone ever saying, oh, there's a white camera in the shot. I never saw it. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. Wouldn't bother me. I would love a white one. In fact, I was hoping to get one. I did not plan accordingly. I didn't know the camera was coming. Well, that's bizarre to me. I guess RED has dropped the ball on this. I mean, you definitely can place the blame on RED. It is not anybody else's fault, but RED. But the fault was they just did not realize how popular this camera was. And who would have known? I mean, what if they'd have made 3,000 of them, shipped them all out, and then they only sold like 500? Then all the dealers would be complaining that they didn't have them, or that they have sitting on them and no one wants them, blah, blah, blah. You just don't know. You can gauge, and I mean, from their point of view, I'm assuming the gauge was probably looking quite accurate. And then launch day happened. And all of you bought them out in 24 hours. Brian says, hope all is well. All is well. Thank you very much for asking. Barefoot says, I got an email from RED stating that at the moment we do not have a confirmed release date for black or white. Barefoot. Yeah, because I'm getting so slow on these questions. I'm starting to turn into Carlos. I always find it interesting. Carlos takes his time and goes through every question and reads the question and then answers it in Carlos fashion. And then we're all replying at the bottom of the lives, and it's like 3 hours later he gets to that. And he's like, what was the answer? I'm turning into Carlos, which is a good thing, by the way. Hello, Carlos. So no more focus hunting after it snapped onto a new subject when moving around compared to OG Komodo. So in all of the testing that I did today, it did it one time on me. And I don't know that it was a completely fair, I don't know that it was completely fair, because if you look on the video on Facebook, it was when I went from the water to the foreground thin tree. So there was a bunch of branches, and then there's a background tree. And it thought for a second, and then it landed on the foreground. That's a pretty sparse tree. So the fact that it did find it was kind of amazing. And I did that test a couple of more times, and it nailed it. So it was obviously wherever I had just landed on it, it was seeing both. And so it did hunt that one time. But on all the animals, no problem. Didn't even miss a beat. Nothing. And if you look at that video, it's crap resolution. Thanks, Facebook. But, I mean, it was quite clear. It nailed focus. It just nailed it. And even that little hunting that it did was pretty quick. So definitely improvements. KX is on CVP. You just need to call them for one if they have any left. They don't have any left. It's definitely out of stock. Brandon says, glad I got one before they sold out. Yep, you had to be really fast. We live in a time where cell phones have excellent displays with incredible resolution compared to the RED Control app. It will be a great combo. Can we expect an adapter with zero latency from RED? So you won't have an adapter with zero latency to your phone because there's no RMI in a phone. But you can use the RED 7-inch touch monitor that made with small HDR. This is not that one, but I was just comparing. And then it sounds like they're making a 5-inch too. Those will work with 0 latency through the RMI interface. So, Anna says, or Anna, depending. Anna, should be Anna, right? From the Philippines? Anna, yep. Good evening from the Philippines. Hello, Anna. Ari says, I was just filming some props in Miami yesterday. Bro, let me help. You got to let me help. Put me on the books, bro. Put me in, coach. I can do it. Now, did you hear about the prop house? I love that we're calling them props. The prop house from Arturo Fuente burned yesterday. Ooh, bad. It was an aging prop house. Robert says, I'm excited for white because in sports, black is hot out in the sun. This is true. This is a very good point. Thank you, Robert. When you are out and you have a black camera, the sun will make it hotter and white will reflect it a little bit, which is funny because it doesn't always work in fabric, but it does in these shells. So yeah, white is good in those cases. Elysium says, I waited 14 weeks for my OG Komodo. Granted, it was 2020 supply chain. I fully expected KX to sell out and be the same position. I definitely voiced my opinion that I thought it was going to sell well, very well. My opinion was that it would probably end up being close to Komodo in sales. And, maybe. I think that one is now pretty much solidified. I had no idea this was going to sell out that fast. I was honestly, sadly, selfishly hoping that they didn't sell out because I did want to get a white one. But that ship has gone. Ollie says, rule number 1 of being a RED user, always have to 20K stuff in case of a random hidden camera release. Indeed. Hello, Daniel. How are you? Hope to see you at Cine Gear. You're going to be there, right? I assume so. I hope to see you again. I hope to get to talk to you ever so less briefly than when we were in the Orion booth or Orion tent there. But good to see you, Daniel. Look forward to chatting, hopefully, a little bit at Cine Gear with you. And I did extend my Cine Gear trip because all the barbecues are back on Sunday. So, yeah. So I'm now flying out on Monday. So, yay. Me. Awesome. Thanks. Yep. Cool. Brandon says, hey, Scott, to answer an earlier question, the app I used yesterday and could not get focus peaking edge, nor was able to get the focus box. Now, that's interesting because it absolutely works. Did you, Brandon, update to the latest one, 2.0.5, I think Mikael said? I had this conversation with him this morning. That's why I know. Update to the latest version of RED Control. But now, you've got me wondering. You got me wondering. I'm gonna do a little thing called a live demo. A live demo. Why? Because I care. I care about everybody. Boop, 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 boop. Bum ba-da-lum, 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 bum. Bum ba-da-lum, ba-da-lum, bum, bum, ba-da-lum, bum, bum. Name that song. Dum da-lum, 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 dum. Dum da-lum, da-lum, dum, dum, da-lum, dum, dum. Do-da-boom, boom, boom-doo-doo-doo. Boom, da-lum, ba-da-lum, 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 bam. We're just going to get this hooked up real quick. Dum da-lum, da-lum, dum, dum, da-lum, dum, dum. That is, of course, it can't ever do it right. Mm-hmm. I really, really, really hate the new. Just make it mirror always. Oh, yes, you're not going to focus. Thank you. Okay, now this is going to be fun. I need to find a place for it to focus. Otherwise, it will literally sit here and hunt. Okay, let's take it off of. Let's do 2398. I can't see. Hold on. I should get a better lens. Let me get a better lens. Actually, let me take the. Let me do this. Let me take this off. I mean, it really kind of sucks because I wasn't planning on doing this. I should have thought ahead. But I actually don't even have the clear ND, and I have the ND. So now it's going to be bright. But let's drop this down to 2.8. That should work. Okay. So now we're connected there. We're going to connect to here. I'm going to pull this up live, not Memorex. And then we will do it. Because I was literally using this all morning long. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. All right, turn. For all the seasons, turn. Okay, so let's, you don't need to see me. You just want to see the dog, and there you go. All right, so here we go. We're in here. We have autofocus is turned on, and we're going to go, oops, I have pre-record on. That's fine. It won't probably matter. We're going to go to here, and we're going to start autofocus. Wait, do I have, let me turn off pre-record here. Hold on 1 second. Menu. You should be seeing everything live. Okay. Let's stop doing that. Can y'all stop texting me? Seriously? That's awesome. Where's my notifications? Do not disturb. Thank you. Okay, we were going here. What did the text say? Let's go turn off pre-record. Boop-de-doo, project settings, pre-record right there. We're gonna turn that off. Pre-record, so, oh, you can't see me, can you? That's not fair. All right, we're gonna take the puppy off here just for a moment. Let me figure out how to do this real quick. These are not backlit. Why? I don't understand. DVE1 is 4. Okay. So we're going to make me 1. There we go. Now I can do 7. Okay. Now you can see me. Pre-record is off. Pre-record, very, very cool. Very, very cool because, let me take his message off. Clear. Yeah, pre-record is very cool, especially for wildlife, because you could be on something and you're like, oh crap, they just did something cool, and it's already gone. So pre-record works like a champ. Okay, we were going back to, there's focus. We have focus there, my gyros, yep, shutter. I'm gonna go focus. So we have box on, there we go. So there's our box. We're going to take this off of here. We're going to double clip. We're going to double tap there. Now we're in my favorite mode. So this is the autofocus box. And you can see it's there. Now it will go away. The box will disappear. This is going to be seriously delayed because we're going here to here to here to here to here. See how the box kind of goes away? That happens over time as it finds something, but you can, boop. Let's see if this is kind of dark, so this is this, oh, this wireless, cool, okay. So let's see what we can, do here. So we've got that, we can go over here, boop, boop. Let's see if we can do the dark, boop, 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 boop. I'm just making that beepy sound because I can. So it does a really good job. Now, the next question was peaking, which we will find out. It's sitting on the... There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to see. So this is regular peaking down. Let's see. Double click. Quit. Come on, double click. There we go. And go back. So there's regular peaking right there, which does peaking, but that's just peaking, not focus peaking. So let's go to here. Let's do, let's see, tools. Let's do peaking on there. And that's peaking. You want focus assist. You don't want peaking, right? You want the actual color outline, right? I've not done the at, still use okay. I'm also going to give your time lapse a go. Yeah, if you're going to do time lapse on the sunset, I would do 1 frame a second and then set it to 1/6 shutter. It's the best. Daniel says, unfortunately, oops, sorry, it looks like I have some of rarefied work, so I'll be out of town during Cine Gear. Looking forward to Cine Gear and Hot Rod. Oh man, that sucks. Well, we saw each other in the tent briefly. Has anyone tried the Mavo Edge 8K? I have not. Brandon says, thanks, Scott. I'll keep playing around with it. Brandon, so you're saying you got focus peaking, etc. on the, okay, Komodo. Is one drill machine not enough for you? Well, some of those are not necessarily drills. Some of those are screw guns. Pablo, in the app on the original Komodo, yes, I got peaking, but I couldn't manage to get it to work on the X of the app. So, yeah, I gotcha. Gotcha. And yes, Scott, I guess I mean assist, not peaking. Right. Yeah, because peaking works, and you're looking for focus assist. And I don't know. Let's see. Is there a focus assist? We'll turn off peaking. There's the face detect. Oh, wait. Yeah, you can't. Okay, I was thinking you couldn't see me. Okay, y'all stop texting me. Seriously. Image stabilization. Like, literally, stop. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen it either, so it may not. Let's just go to the menu. Let's see here. We're going to go to monitors. We're going to go to tools. Okay. Dismiss. Bye. And we're going to do peaking. Let's see. So we can do peaking on. Cyan, peaking level. Let's change this to yellow. Peaking, and let's change it to peaking level 2. Okay, that's it. All notifications are being turned off now. You blew it. You ruined the internet. Thanks a lot. It's literally set to do not disturb. Why is it coming up? Gotta love oh my God. Tim, you might want to untag me. I'm about to lose my mind. All right, let's go back here. Yeah, I don't see the yellow. Well, no, that's yellow. Well, let's do this. It's like, no, you can't go out of focus. Let's just do manual then. Oh, wait, I have the autofocus box on. So let's go. Yep, that's peaking. So there you go. Yes, it is working. Right now it's fighting me because I think it's still on autofocus. Let me stop. There we go. That right there, that is focus peaking. With focus assist, really. Okay, so we're going to go back to here. And we're going to turn this back to Puppy. Puppy's going to want to be seen. There's Puppy. Well, I guess he doesn't. Let me just... Who's smarter? Who's smarter? Yeah. Okay, so that is that. If you have Scott's number, don't text him. Only one. It takes 3 for him to notice. Thank you, Carlos. Very true. Very true. Wait, you didn't text me, did you, Carlos? Nope. Just Tim. Just Tim. Any other questions on Komodo-X? Okay. Okay, we're good there. But I do have the app up so we can, I'm going to turn that off because that is really annoying right now. That makes it into like a big jumble mess. I did turn it up so you could see it, but that turned it into a big ugly mess. Tools, peeking on. Yeah, I do love RED Control. It's so good, so good, so good. And this is. That's literally how I was using it all morning right there. With, I would just sit here and I would grab the focus and I would do this. And then I learned that these triangles will slow it down. So let's see how that works. That seems pretty fast. So let's try this one. Oh, that was, wait. That's not what I wanted to do. I need to learn that one clearly. Okay, B-E-A-U, I clicked on it, hello. There it goes. Barefoot laughing. Do you see a noticeable difference between the Komodo and the KX image? I mean, there's ever so slight difference in lower light. Last night in the time lapse, I did notice that it was ever so slightly clear. It's not huge. It's not earth shattering and everybody's going to see it. You need to really pay attention to what's happening to be able to notice it. But I did notice ever so slightly. It felt maybe that's the more appropriate word. It felt like it was a little cleaner in the shadows. I don't know that I could quantify it. But here's where it does have nice image, slow motion. This camera, so I found the arch nemesis to extra loving quality, which is ELQ mode. The ELQ mode does not like massive, huge fields of grass or hay and trees. That's when it's like, okay, I'm compressing this. I just want you to know you're going to lose some stuff. So when I was shooting at 100 frames a second, 2.4 to 1 widescreen in 6K, then switching over to LQ and then to MQ, you can see the difference. Most things, like talking heads, you're not going to see it. But I definitely found that level. And I've definitely found that I'm shooting in MQ for that nature stuff because it looks so good. It looks so good. Have you sorted out a timecode option? I haven't tried yet, but there are 2 options you could do immediately. One of which would be to buy the RED 5-pin to 3.5-inch TRS cable, which would effectively give you what Komodo has. And then you could do audio timecode there. The other option is if you have anything that runs the 9-pin. The 9-pin is the same 9-pin as I understand it. So if you have like if you have an I/O module or like the Tilta, I have not tested this, but I'm fairly confident if you put a battery on this and then connect the 9-pin to Komodo-X, you will have timecode for now. Otherwise, Mutiny probably has some... Well, you can also do 9-pin. If you have the 9-pin to either Tentacle Sync or, in my case, the Deities, that will work just fine. It's the same 9-pin connector as Komodo, so it should work. Carlos says, so high frequency noise is where ELQ... Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's for sure when you have so many moving things, that field of grass and the wind, that's where ELQ started to suffer. Plus, I was at 100 frames a second. I assume that's stacking, so it's just a compression rate and not conforming to a compression bit rate on here. But yeah, the difference between LQ and MQ was a little less noticeable, but I mean, I was just sitting in there right before the live stream, and at 4K playback, MQ is stunningly good. And I hit focus. Yay, me. Topic Ruben says, cheers, everyone. Greetings from Italy. Well, greetings, Topic Ruben. Ollie says, is the 100 frames per second available in HQ? Yep. All the way to HQ. I did not run HQ because I only have a single 325 gig card, which does not last very long in MQ. So now, when I go out in the mornings, and after this live stream, which I'm going to end the live stream about 7, so about a 2-hour live. No, that's 3 hours. So maybe I'll end at 6:30. So 2.5 hours or so. The reason I'm going to turn this off. The reason I'm going to end the live stream is so I can go back out there and film some more of the animals because they're so dang cute. I really like them. So when I go out there, I tangented myself. When I go out there, I've been bringing my wife's little MacBook Air and using it to offload footage. So I have to take a 9-minute break periodically. But now that I have incredible detailed focus, because pulling focus on a stills lens at long distances, kinda touchy. But now you could go and get it perfect. I loves it. Kelly says, they said the color science is closer to RED RAPTOR with the Komodo-X, right? I don't know that they said that. The color science is IPP2, and color science is kind of a misnomer, especially because it's raw. There is IPP2 image pipeline. All REDs that have ever been made can use IPP2. That's the beauty of RED RAW, is it's backwards compatible and forwards compatible, really. The cameras, like an old camera, can't record IPP2, but you can bring the footage into your editor and immediately just apply the IPP2 image pipeline. Color science is the wrong word for that. It has half a stop more dynamic range in the shadows over regular Komodo. So technically that makes it closer to V-RAPTOR. I don't know. Whoops. Y'all moved ahead of me. Will the new RED E&D flange fit, say, the DZOP? Yeah, it should. It should work with all of them, as I understand it. It's been built that way. What is ELQ and how is it compared to LQ? ELQ is extra loving quality, as I'm calling it. It's extra low quality. And basically, I think I don't remember offhand. I think HQ may be 2 or 3 to 1 compression. MQ is like 4 or 5 to 1. LQ is about 7.5 to 1 compression. And then ELQ, I think, is like 12. So for some cases, you can get a lot more footage shot on a single card. That way, I'm unplugging this. That's annoying me. That's annoying me. And then that's annoying me. And then turn that off. Then, okay, cool. That way I can check in with peeps that actually need to get a hold of me during the the stream here. Okay. All good there. Oh, you did, Carlos. You are our turkey. Let's see here. Oh, you just did it, though. You did. I thought you had messaged me. Okay. So, Mutiny, yep. Mutiny to 9-pin. Mutiny, yeah, they're Mutiny little multi-out box. That's working for you, right, Carlos? Give me a thumbs up. I need to try the USB-C. That's true. I need to try that to my when I go back. Oh, that'll be fun. I'll have to figure out how to do that because if I use that, it's gonna keep it. Yeah, we'll see. So it's deeper compression. It shouldn't be used for anything critical. We'll just put it that way. But so I'm going all talking. I'm going all talking heads. Enjoy the no. I'm going all red here. We're switching over to all red cameras now. No more Sonys. And they are for sale. If anybody wants to buy the Sonys, I'll be listing them shortly. They're all over the place. And I will be using ELQ on the talking heads because why not? James says, I'm out. Going to the beach. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks, James. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the beach. Don't get burned. Remember, even on a cloudy day, you can get sunburned. Will RED release an EF version of the electronic ND? I have not gotten a commitment from them on that. Technically, everything is there to do so. I mean, like the depth and everything. So it's just a question of, is there enough demand? That is the question. Kelly says, I can pick up the Komodo-X Stormtrooper right now, but I'm still debating on white versus black. Should I go for it, Scott? I'm not going to make the decision for you. I'm not going to do it. I personally have zero issue with white versus black on that. I think they actually both look really cool. If you want to play with Komodo between now and the next 2 months, then I would grab that one right now. But make your own decision. Carlos says, yep, it worked great. Yep, cool. Fincher shoots HQ all day. Yep, I believe that. And he also has more media than I do. I mean, I don't ever shoot HQ. I think I've done it a few times. I did shoot some on here just so I could test it, see how it was, and of course it looks great. HQ should really only be used for anything with VFX work because you just need that highest level of detail. MQ is so stinking close that for anything anything critical, major, anything you're paid good money for, yeah, MQ is where it's at. Everything else you could do LQ. ELQ for certain things. You're not supposed to, but you know. Simon says, tell Rex I said hi. Rex, Simon says hi. Let the record show Rex did not move. Phil Holland shoots HHQ. That's right. He shoots negative compression. Oh, we all know, Tim. We all know. We know because I was demoing Red Control when you texted over and over. Tech Noir, do you need a separate clear filter for the END? It comes with it. So it is it comes with two filters. One is clear, and one of them is the electronic ND. And you have to have clear. If you're passing through distance and you have some glass in there, you can never not have glass in there. So you have to have the clear one in there. It's weird. I did not know that until I started when they were developing the breakthroughs. And then I learned. I was like, oh, it makes perfect sense. Passing through any kind of glass whatsoever, doesn't matter if it's perfectly crystal clear glass. It's that water white. It has an effect on the focus distance. And so you must replace it back. And so that's why there's a clear, and it comes with it. Any more questions on the Komodo-X? If not, anything that requires the Komodo-X, we'll say it that way, because then I'm going to go put it in the other room, and I'm gonna burn this prop to the ground. I'm gonna burn it to the ground. Anybody got any? Do y'all get notifications? Carlos was telling me he never gets notifications on my YouTube channel. It's like YouTube doesn't want Carlos to know, and so now I just text him. I just text him and say going live. But do y'all have that problem too? Now that you say that, Carlos, I'm just thinking of all the live streams that I don't get notifications to them. I don't. So yeah, YouTube sucks. Okay, so we've got no further comments. Oh, you did get notified by my text or just the hit and miss. It's so interesting. It's very interesting that they're that way. Makes no sense to me, but what do I know? All right, I'm going to go put this in the other room, so please stand by. There's going to be a brief pause while there's nothing on the screen except my dog. My dog will let you know that it is still live. I'm going to take this all the way to the back into the music. Wow, it sounds nice in here, doesn't it? It's so quiet. There's no noise. Well, there's a little bit of noise. Let me turn this. Look at that. It's all quiet in here. Can you hear? Can you hear the difference? This is where I record my deep voices when I'm doing my voiceover work. All right, we're going to come back in here. All the way back in here. Hi, Regs. I'm going to step over this oddly and turn on my vent. Oh, look, I just blocked the sun. Hey, look, I'm standing outside the window. I'm outside the window. I'm outside the... Can y'all see me? Over that back. Gotta keep this window closed. Don't want the bugs to come in. I don't know why that's so funny. I found it to be extremely humorous. There's lots of humor in my world. Some of it's funny, some of it's not. It's funny to me. Okie dokie, I am back. Watch, y'all are going to start asking a bunch of Komodo questions. Carlos says, but I had to go to your channel after the text and be asked to be notified. Interesting. It's so amazing that Social Network was shot on Red 1. I agree. I still really, really like that movie. It is such a good movie. It's such an awkward movie, but a good movie. I mean, I kind of feel for him. What's his name? Who played him really well, like really well. I'm gonna do a punch cut here. This will be interesting on this one. Boop. These are not my favorites. I won't have to burn this all the way to the ground because it will give me a headache, oddly enough. Okay. No notifications anymore. Samuel says, I am here. Hello, Samuel. About this particular live. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? So you have to go in and tell it on each. That's dumb. Come on, YouTube, do better. Nick says, how will the EVF work? Will it be able to use the EVF with the DMC? No. So the EVF is going to have to use the RMI interface. The RMI interface is essentially a USB-C connector, but it's not. That will plug into the EVF. So if you needed to use the EVF and a monitor, you would need to use like a OC or port keys and put it on top and run that with SDI. So the monitor isn't using the SDI. Yeah, the EVF is going to use the RMI, as I understand it. Let's see here. I wonder, is Komodo will remain as it is with only firmware updates, and will the X be one to evolve in the future? Well, if you play it out, Ali, they are returning Komodo back to its intent. And its intent is to be a crash camera. Or as Phil puts it, a utility camera. So they're returning it back to its original purpose. X will be that entry-level RED that everybody was using Komodo as. X will get all kinds of firmware updates, probably smaller and smaller changes as we go, but still more firmware updates for quite a while. And at some point, I don't suspect it's anytime soon, but at some point, it would get some kind of an update, like a physical update. But I honestly, my gut tells me probably 2+ years, probably 2 years. The reason being, number one, Komodo only seems to need to be 6K. So what is it not doing? What is it that they need to bring to Komodo that it doesn't already have? Because I'm designed to be 6K global shutter. All the other things that everybody asked for, higher shutter speed, no, buy the X. Or not shutter speed, higher frame rate, buy the X. We want better audio, buy the X. Let's talk audio in a second here. Yeah, it's perfect for what it is, and no need to change it. Not much more they could do with K1 of this for its intended purpose. Yeah, that's about right. Brandon's like, well, never mind. Technoir says, social network is perfect. It's pretty perfect. It's pretty perfect. There's a couple little things in there I would tweak. A couple little things. But for all intents and purposes, it's perfect because I'm definitely not going to Fincher and go, you know what, Fincher? Sit down. Let me tell you. This is what I want you to do. It's never going to happen. I ain't doing it. So my little things, yeah, totally fine. And mine are so tiny. They're just so tiny. Ads will run for some viewers in 58 seconds. Well, that's cool. Thanks for popping that up. Let's see here. So, where are we in the world of things to chat about? Can I just move that over there? Oh, he's smaller. That sucked. Oh, no, he's small. Well, dadgummit. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see if it changes. No. I guess there's nowhere to... Well, I guess once he's small, he's small. Well, I had modified it, and apparently that doesn't save. That'll learn me. Okay. Audio. Let's talk audio. So I have been doing some testing with the audio. I've not been doing the measurements testing yet, but I have been plugging in some very expensive, very high quality, large diaphragm condenser microphones, some small shotguns, some small condenser microphones across the board. And the noise floor is way lower, way lower. Impressively so. Like, literally when I had the microphone on, I had the headphones on, and they were turned up. And I wasn't making any noise, and I thought, did I plug in the microphone? And so I made a noise. I was like, oh God, yes, I did. It was really impressive. Really impressive. Has phantom power. It's able to power them all. Quite cool. Quite cool. Definitely usable. Definitely usable. But I will dig into much more detailed testing measurements. Pablo says, there's no hardware difference between the STs and the Black. That's correct. There's zero difference. There's zero difference in price, zero difference in anything. In other words, the STs won't have any difference from the Blacks that were earlier. Yeah, I mean, they could always make a change to it, but for the most part, no, there's not. And if, let's say, hypothetically, let's say that they detected a flaw in the button, the top button, or the little button panel. Maybe they detected a flaw in the Stormtroopers, and they fixed it on the production Black run. Then they would then go back and fix that on the Stormtroopers if it was an actual, big issue. It may just be, maybe it would be like one or two people, and they would just fix that. You just don't know. But, I mean, Stormtroopers are first run. It is get them out there. Let's let these people run on them a little bit and make it happen. Kelly says, just bragging rights? Not necessarily. I mean, like the original orange, so like the blue Komodo back here has the production boards in it. The original orange did not have... some of the boards were, I think, different. So they swapped those out for the people who had the orange ones. Now, that was a small number and a very, very first issuance of the Komodo. But these Stormtroopers, I'd say pretty confidently are pretty locked in. Lapati says, hi, Scott. Any new lenses and lights you're looking forward to? Well, I mean, Cine Gear is about to release some really big lights. Nanlux just released theirs, a 2400B. I suspect something from Aputure. I suspect more from Nanlux. Big lights are coming. Lenses? Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. I'm interested in seeing the Nisis. I think Phil Holland, I believe, is going to be doing a live with Duclos lenses on Monday, I think, where he will be where he will be looking at the Nisis in depth with Duclos. I see Tim Doust has released his Komodo-X ST unboxing. And just judging by the thumbnail alone, that's going to be a fun video. Maybe. You should probably watch it. Let's see. So the Nisis I'm interested in seeing. I was actually really impressed with the macros from Any moment now. DZO. The DZO macros were kind of impressive. Those are going to need... I'm going to have to look a little deeper in those. Yeah, there's quite a few, and there may be some new lenses being dropped at Cine Gear. Fincher made Alien 3 at 27. That's pretty insane. It is true. The man is a legend. He is. I do want to meet him one day. One day it's going to happen. It will happen. Mark says, what lenses were you used to test the autofocus with? I have tested it so far with the 70-200, the 2X on that. I've tested it with the 18-35, by Sigma, the Sigma 50-100, and that is all I've tested it with so far. But they're working great. I haven't tried the 24-70 yet, which is over there. Nick says, is there a workflow to sync off-speed recording sound, being that it records to a separate WAV file, or is there something that it can embed the WAV file to the off-speed recording? Really, it's tough because if you're recording off speed, the sound is not going to match. So the way you would do that is to take the audio into post and slow it down, maintaining pitch to the percentage that you have sped up or slowed down, slow motion, the footage. So if you're shooting at 48 frames a second on a 23 or 24 timeline, then you'd slow it down to 50% of the audio. And when you go past about 20% either way, you get some kind of funniness going on. It's not perfect. That's where you would want a really high sample rate recording. So you would want like a 192 kilohertz recording, so that you could slow that down and it not be so glitchy when you do so. Sky panels have apparently dropped in price considerably. I hear there might be a little kiss to sky panels at Cine Gear. That's what I hear. Philip Holland says Gnosis. Yes, those are the macros. I was quite impressed with those. I want to play with them because I want to find out what they're lacking as a set of primes. Because wouldn't it be cool if you could have primes that were also all macro? Because it looked really good. I just started making payments on the original Komodo. I am so excited. Perfect. Pay it off as fast as you can. Get it working for you. What's the best way to get good audio with the original? Fair enough. This is what I do. Sorry. I usually will go into like an H6 zoom recorder or an H4n or the F8 when I use for larger shoots. And I come out of the audio out of the F8 or the H6 or the H4n and go into the microphone input on the Komodo. And then the trick there is pull the levels all the way down on the Komodo so that the Komodo preamp is not adding any gain, and then crank up the output of the recorder that you're using. So what I've found is if it's a small shoot where it's just a single person interview and there's no more than two microphones, I can go into like an H4 or an H6, come out of that with a microphone on left and right, use that technique, go into the Komodo, and I can use the audio off the Komodo. I don't need to bring in the Zoom audio. It's that gain has always been the weak link. And I'm very happy to say X seems to have solved that quite a bit. Quite a bit. Not just noticeably, immensely noticeably. Barefoot Production says, I bought a huge stock of sky panels just before the price drop. I mean, we can't win, really. We try, but we can't ever win. That's life. It's like, you could go out and buy the coolest car, and then they cancel it next week, and you're like, did I just drool on me? That's a stain. Look at that. I wonder if that's my spaghetti from lunch. It could be. These are all my go-to-dinner shirts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ryan says, the Zoom F3, I'd also great audio pairing for, yeah, that is tiny. I don't have any of the new other than the H4n Pro, no, the F8n Pro recorder, which has the 32-bit float. Yeah, I mean, that F3 is tiny, which would be super easy to do. You need to get a high quality preamp or a higher quality preamp, and then you're going to be fine. Just don't use a headphone out. Use an audio out, a line level out, something that you can boost a little bit, because headphones are usually not the highest quality. But I will say, I don't know if it is just that the noise floor is so low on the inputs that the headphone sounds better, cleaner on the output, but the headphones were quite quiet as well. So I don't know. It's hard to tell because the only way to know is what you were capturing before. I don't know. Maybe I could figure out a way to test that. It might just be the preamps. Brandon says, I concur. Thank you, Brandon, for concurring with Ryan. Concur. I like that word. Nick says, tested the audio today with the Sennheiser MKE600 and the Rode NTG both, and they sounded solid. They are quite impressive, aren't they? Did you put on a pair of headphones and like really get in there? Because I can't wait to do the measurements test, because I know it's going to be a 20 decibel drop in the noise floor probably. I'm guessing, just based upon what I heard. For those of you who aren't versed in audio, 10 decibels is double the volume. So if you go up 10 decibels, it's double in volume. If you come down 10 decibels, it's half the volume. It's not the same way. I don't know, I forget which way it is, but so if it's 20 decibels quieter, might be even more. It's going to be twice as it'll be 1/4 of the level of noise as before. That's just based upon what I heard. But we'll get in there and do some measurements. I have the stuffs. If you shoot 6K 50 on the original RED Komodo, shooting 6K 50, I'm assuming you mean 241. Can you zoom and post to get rid of the pillar boxes top and bottom? Yes, you're reading that. Yeah, you can. And that will just give you a 5K. 241 6K is 5K wide. No. It's, if you crop in on the sides, it fills it to 5K. Same basic resolution within a couple of pixels, if not perfect. But yes, you can absolutely do that. And I tend to do that myself. I tend to shoot, like, especially wildlife, I will tend to shoot the 6K, well, on X. I shoot widescreen so that I can get the 100 frames per second. I do that on Dragon all the time. But sadly, once I get my X, Dragon's probably not going to go out as much. I'll give it to my wife. Let her film with it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Dragon's probably not going anywhere. Makes me sad to make it relegated to this camera forever. I'm sure it'll go out. It means too much. Nick says, yeah, I clicked. Nick says, yeah, in the Komodo-X, I did the same. It sounded like nothing was plugged in, and all of a sudden spoke. Exactly, Nick. It was a lot funnier than I would expect that to be. Because I literally thought I had not plugged something in. It was really good. And they have limiters now. Pretty nice. They didn't have limiters in the. I never used a limiter. I don't remember. They didn't have limiters in Komodo original, did they? I've never used the gains. It's hard to limit. You can zoom in on anything. It's true. You can go all the way down to 1 pixel if you'd like. Ollie says, I missed that Nanlux announcement. Now I feel what Aputure teased is a 2400D. Let's see. It's a big box. I'll tell you that. It'll be interesting to see how they do the power on these. Because all of a sudden, we're reaching a point where we're not quite able to run it on normal house power. We're going to be using breakout boxes from our dryers again in the future. Ollie says, I'm thinking about getting a third Dragon. The prices are criminal. Yeah, I hear you. With a tiny handful of exceptions, I believe RED has created a tiny Dragon with, not tiny, I guess tiny's a little over dramatic. They have made a small Dragon, a baby Dragon. It has almost all the features that Dragon has, 6K. Basically all the frame rates, -2, because this one would do 82 frames per second, where X will do 80. The audio is much better in X. This one does have frame averaging and frame summing. I like frame averaging. I do like to use that. So that is definitely a case where that will be used. Yeah, I mean, the image is really close to Dragon. Dragon has a little more dynamic range. Maybe. I do feel like the highlights on Dragon is a little bit better, but the highlights yesterday I was getting didn't suck. They looked pretty good. Komodo's not bad at all. It's really not. I think X has landed as, God, I hate to say it, as something that would, yeah, I don't know. It's so good. It's so much of a Dragon that I can see time without Dragon. And that is so sad for me to say. Ollie, you and I have been Dragon Bros for a long time, and I don't think I'm getting rid of Dragon. It doesn't make any sense financially. You're not going to get anything for it. But, using it is compared to X. I know, Ollie. Ollie's like, shut your mouth. Don't say it. Shh. If you can see Ollie's hand come from the side, no, don't say a word. I mean to tell you, Ollie, the frame rates when I pull Dragon out there, I love the way it looks on nature. It looks so good. And skin, it looks so good. And then I can shoot at 6K, well, typically 2:4:1 at 100K. 100K would be awesome. 100 frames a second at 6K widescreen on Dragon, and I get that perfect wildlife. Looking at the 100K that I shot today of the antelope, it looked so much like Dragon to me. If I was a smart man, I'm not a smart man, I'll probably do that this weekend. I'm going to do it, Ollie. And you don't have to agree with whatever findings I come up with. And it could be the Dragon is like, nope, it's totally the same, totally different. But you just have to accept that I may make a statement that may not be good. I might try to put them side by side and see if I could get kind of the same exact shot. That would be cool. And just see how it goes. Let's see. Ali says, that's what I was thinking. They just showed their Delta Pro power solution. Yeah, I mean, they have to. You got to get that out there, which is EcoFlow. You have to get that out there for the big light. And I still have to do a review over here. I need to get it done. I hope to get it done. I should probably get it done next week. Yeah. 513 says, so with the original RED Komodo, RED was doing special colors and putting people's names on the Komodo. Yeah. How can you get on RED's good list? Do you have to know Jared Land or be famous? They're not doing custom colors right now. He did say the other day that it would be fun to do custom colors again. So he might do them in the future. It's unknown. I mean, ooh. Thank you for not, you didn't, but you did. I need to write this down real quick. That doesn't look as good as when, yeah, that may not work as well. You don't have to be famous. I am not famous in any way. I do know Jared. He is a friend. He's a wonderful human being, truly. He's fun. Lots of fun, great conversations. Did that help me get the blue? I don't know. I think, I don't know. I know like Komodo was weird when he did that first, because Komodo was, he's bored, he's got nothing to do, he's sitting in a locked room, you know, he can't be exposed to anybody, and what is he going to do? He's just going to paint a bunch of bodies. So he did. He was there baking them in an oven, and he created a few, and then he created some others, and then he kind of quietly released them out there. It's kind of the if you know you know kind of thing. I don't know of a way to get one. I mean, I say that honestly. I don't know of how one person can get one, how another can't. Right place, right time, I don't know. I mean, in life, I would say, be a nice person. Never hurts. And, what you give, you get. That is not a direct RED thing. That's my motto in life is what you give out, people give back. And I'm saying that so badly that it sounds horrible. I'm nice, I hope, to everybody, and everybody's nice back to me. That is life. That is what we as humans should do. If you don't agree with something I say, it's totally fine. I'm not going to take offense to it. And you shouldn't take offense to me. I mean, like Ollie, like right now, Ollie's really questioning our friendship because of Dragon. But I know Ollie. Ollie's going to hang around. Ollie's like, you know what? We can agree to disagree on that one. I'll have one more Dragon than you. You know, be a good person out there in the world, and karma will. That was such a perfect setup for Jared, and he just took it, and I didn't mean to. The karma audio thing, funny. Yeah, just good things come to good people. I don't know. That's the best I can answer it. Really, honestly, I don't know. Komodo have a newborn coming home. Your YouTube channel name is RED Komodo. Nice. Can you explain how frame summing ever? Yeah, sure. And it was explained to me by Graham Natras, who is the color wizard. I think calling him the color wizard is probably. Graham has been instrumental in RED and RED code, all of that since the very, very, very beginning. And he's an incredibly nice guy. And one day we're going to figure out how to get him on here. Not live. It's probably not going to be live. But frame summing is you can shoot. It's going to use the slow motion capabilities of a camera. So let's say I have Dragon and it could shoot 24 frames a second and it could go up to 96, which it can't. So we'll use widescreen 6K. So 24 and it can shoot 96 frames a second there. If I do a 4 times frame summing, it's going to shoot using the 96 frames per second. And it's going to add them up. 4 frames added up to the levels that it gets. So it's going to read a value of like red. This pixel red is going to be a value of 128, 128, 128. And 128, it's going to make that value 512. So in extraordinarily low light, in time lapsing and such, you can do frame summing, and it's going to take those 4, add them together, and you're going to get a lot more brightness, a lot more luminance in your image. But there's a caveat to frame summing. All the noise is also summed. So you have noise 1, noise 2, noise 3, noise 4. You have 4 times the amount of noise that goes on top. Frame summing, not the best pick. Frame averaging is going to take the 4, add them together, and divide by 4. So now you have 4 times the amount of data, and it divides it out. What that does is in extremely low light, you won't get more luminance, but you will get 4 times less noise. You can do this 2, 4, 8, and 16, I think, times on RED. Now what happens is if you're shooting at 24, you can only get 4. So it goes down to a 12 frames a second to get 8, and then 6 frames a second to get 16. So it works in time lapse in that scenario. But for instance, motion control, when I'm using motion control, I can use very small lights, very little light, and shoot this camera at 800 ISO. And it's much, much cleaner than just shooting. And since it's time lapse, I just go slower with the motion control, and I get a super clean image. The Wells method. Have you tried the DJI LiDAR on the RS3? Does Komodo-X autofocus compare well? I have not tried the DJI LiDAR on the RS3. I've seen it by many, many people, but I have not myself. Would it compare well? I don't know. I know there's problems with the LiDAR in certain scenarios. Not a lot, but I know certain facial features, certain facial angles can cause some interesting things to happen with the LiDAR. The autofocus on X is pretty good so far that I've seen. The facial tracking that is in the app, I would assume, I haven't tested it today. Not yet. The facial tracking should be even better, but you have to use the app on there. Yeah, that's my thing. 513 Ghost says, how did you get started with RED? What was your first RED? So I've told the story numerous times. I will condense it down for everyone who's already heard the story going. So I first heard about RED literally in a magazine, in American Cinematographer, I believe it was, and then on the forum groups back in the old days, DVX User, which happened to be run by Jared Land himself. It still is. There was RED 1 coming, and RED 1 looked really, really cool. And I don't remember, the starting price I think was 10, but you can't. Well, I think when it was first teased, I don't know. I need to go back and look at the data, because I'm like pulling numbers out of my head now that I don't quite remember. But what it was RED 1 was coming out. I saw it. I was like, oh my God, this is cool. This 4K, it records digitally. This is really cool. And the price was just within my reach. And I don't remember now if the price went up a little bit or if it was the realization that you got a box and you got nothing without the media, the monitor, everything else that you needed to run it all. It wasn't a monitor back then, was it? It was just on the back. But there was a whole lot more to it that you needed that priced me out. It wasn't RED's fault. I mean, I was the guy with no money. And so that's where I found RED first. I ended up buying the Panasonic HVX 200, which was a fun camera, but not. I loved it, but it was not quite a 1080 camera. A little soft on the 1080. That was when I got exposed to RED, and then watching RED through the years. The Mysterium chip sensor came out, and it was better. It was cooler. Then they came out with the Epic body, and then they had the Scarlet X body out back then. I was taking note, and I started realizing, okay, raw is how I was doing photography, and that works. It made perfect sense to me. Why not RAW for video? It wasn't until 2015 when financially the wife and I kind of put our heads together and figured out how we could do this. And once, well, it was 2014 when we started that. And then it was to 2015 March, I think it was, when we bought the camera. And I was literally that November before. I remember I was sitting in my buddy Bill's house. We were at Worstfest, and I'm just sitting there on my laptop, and I've got maybe like 10 tabs open with different configurations of RED. Do I go with MX sensor, Mysterium, or do I go with Dragon? Do I go with the large RED mags, which were still available at the time, or the mini mags? And everything kind of just fell into place rapidly. I had watched a video by Mr. Phil Holland, on him shooting Dragon, and it was something that he shot when he first got Dragon, and it changed me. It changed me instantly to, there's no way Mysterium is going to be good enough after seeing that Dragon. And so, save up a little more. And then I realized that the RED mags were going to be deprecated. The mini mags were the future. They had higher capacity, so clearly that was going to be the future. And so I said, all right, we got to do mini mags. So we saved, and then we bought in 2015. That's probably not a very condensed version, sorry. Bought in 2015, and bought my first Epic Dragon, which I loved and shot. And then in November of 2018, I did a dumb thing, and I attempted to replace the internal battery myself, and I fried it. And it was a bad moment in time. And then we ended up with a Dragon X DSMC2 through some amazing things that just happened in life that was just kind of amazing, and therefore we got Dragon X. Oh, you're laughing? Okay, sorry. After Dragon X, then it was, I love Red rules. Just all of it made sense, which is funny too, because this is, everybody always, when they buy it and immediately something comes out and they replace it, and they're like, oh, I just bought it. I hold the same sentiment. When I bought my Epic Dragon, literally the next, at NAB, they released DSMC 2. I hadn't owned it for 2 months, and they released it. That's fine with me. I didn't care. It didn't bother me one bit, because Dragon DSMC 1 with the mini mags was exactly what I decided that I wanted. That's what I needed. So I bought it, period. Didn't care. When they came out, cool, neat. But I don't fret on that stuff. I do love new cameras, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely jonesing over this X over here. But for lots of reasons. But I'm satisfied with it. When you buy a camera, when you make a decision to buy something, stick with it. Doesn't matter what happens after that. If it made sense to you right then, let it make sense forever. Why change? Just because something new came out doesn't mean that your decision was wrong. So stick with it. Brandon said, I posted the hypothesis when the Dragon package dropped the Facebook, the KX's replacement, and I got ripped to shreds for. It's true, you did. And I felt for you. The funny thing is, it had absolutely nothing to do with that. It was just closing out the old DSMC2 bodies. This is all that was. It just happened to be coinciding about the same time. Remember, we didn't know anything about Komodo-X until Carlos pulled it out of thin air. Just, hey, look, I think we're going to have a Komodo-X. I mean, he nailed it. He nailed it. And I think it sent RED on a whirlwind. It was like, whoa. Brandon says, 5K 96 FPS on X is so good. Yes, it is. It is, agreed. I edit. Sorry, my nose is itching. I'm talking a lot, and I'm enjoying a burned prop, so I'm going to be coughing. My nose is going to itch. That's just the way it works. What a week. Happy Friday, all. Hello, I edit. You got your Komodo-X, right? I edit. Did you get it yet? You were getting it today, right? No? Ollie says, the X will be a refreshing change and save my back for handheld. But Dragon gave me the best. I shot some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever shot on Dragon, and it will always hold a place in my heart. Always. 513 Ghost. Yeah, haha, pretty much. I'd kill to get a custom color. I mean, yeah. Brandon, Jason Momoa's brass Komodo was the most lustful piece of camera gear I've ever seen. I agree. It was gorgeous. It was also specifically made for him because no one else is as badass as he is and can hold the extra weight. Technoir wants a Tesla Ultra Red Komodo-X. I know. I've wanted a red one as well. And I think he's made one or two. He doesn't seem to want to make red, which is why I say when I get my Super 35 V-RAPTOR, which is now just got bumped because of X, because X is going to be so good. I'm going to beg and plead and probably not succeed because that rhymes with greed. But I'm going to beg and plead to get a candy apple red Super 35 V-RAPTOR. I'm going to try it. Scott, you deserve it, every bit of it. I don't know what I deserve other than smiles. Yep. You receive the energy you put out into the world. Big facts. Yes, I edit. Absolutely. That is one of the things that is so true. And it's interesting. One of the people, which turned into such a beautiful, wonderful friendship, but one of the people who changed me so much with a simple statement, and I just shared this story again the other day with some friends. There was one person, and I was just chatting with him. We were at a bar, Masters of Motion, and really was inspired by this person, really enjoyed everything that this person did in the community and for filmmaking, et cetera, et cetera. And we were just chatting and talking about all the things that he's done and all this. And he said, you know why I do this, right? And I immediately said, for the community, right? He goes, no. I said, to be a part of the creative process, the film, is that it? And he's like, no. He said, I do it for the smiles. That phrase touched me so much more than probably sounds corny, but I redid my life many years back to become a very positive person and to give and get the positivity in the world. But that single phrase answer did more to solidify that positivity and to give it the meaning that it really was. And that is the smiles. Getting the smiles from people is why I love being positive, because you'll get a smile. The person who said that, Eric Kessler. I mean, the world, it's a wild place. It has turned into an incredible friendship. Right then and there, I knew this is a person that is such a great model human being that I need to know this person. I need to feed from this person and to hopefully give back the smiles. But there we go. Sorry, that was a hallmark moment right there. Should totally make that into a short. And that's why there's a picture of Eric on my back. that's a totally different story. It'd be cool if they took Dragon's sensor and put it in a new body. I mean, so Dragon is 10 years old now. And my story, I did condense a lot of times and overlapped it a little bit, but I mean, Dragon is 10 years old now. I think it's had its time. They have put it in. I mean, Dragon X wasn't going to be. When they did DSMC2 Unified, well, I mean, there was Dragon was the magnesium only. It was magnesium and then the carbon, I think, were the only. They weren't going to do the Dragon, but there were so many people, probably me included, who lusted after that Dragon image that he created Dragon X, which is what allowed me to get this one. I literally got it when they did the Dragon X rollout, which he then did the upgrade from Ravens and Scarlet W's to Dragon X, which was the last upgrade, if I remember correctly, that Red ever did. Never again. And that was the beginning of 2019. So the yellow was not, and it was yellow, and that was named after the guy who was going out into all those California forest fires, I think, and filming it, which was rad. That was cool. Ask not what Red can do for you. Fair enough. Laughy, laughy. Michael says, hi, Scott. What is your need or enthusiasm for a possible upcoming Red EVF? Okay, so really, see, that's how I know I've been talking too much. I'm not a huge EVF guy, but I'm finding the more and more bigger and bigger jobs that I'm doing and getting on, I want that EVF. I have like a candle in the wind. I have a couple of EVFs. What my enthusiasm for the Red would be so compact. It would be an EVF that's going to go straight onto the side, probably through some little top interface, but no cables, nothing. Just like the DSMC2 EVF was. It just went right on the side. And that was insane. And so very, very cool. So that's the reason. I mean, just pure compactness. Now, it'll be interesting in that case because I still like the top monitor. I mean, I was just working a job last week. Yeah, because I didn't do Friday's live stream because I was working. Whereby we were using EVFs and monitors, and I loved it. It was so good. Going to an EVF, it does change you, and like Mark Toya had said, get you some AirPods, put them in your ears, put some music on, some theme music, whatever energizes you. Put that EVF up to your eyeball and shoot B-roll. You'll get some of the most amazing B-roll. That has stuck. It's so true because you close your eyes off to the world. You're looking only through the camera, through the lens. You're only seeing life that way. You frame things differently. The monitors, I love the monitor because I can see it on top, and it's good for so many things. But when I'm wanting to get into that action, and I want to find and feel that action, there is no replacement for an EVF. Timmy says, okay, Scotty, I got to leave the studio going to shoot my first footage on my X. My unboxing is live. I'll put my headphones on and listen while I'm shooting. Literally that. That's funny. So I'm the inspiration for Timmy, right? No, yeah, y'all should go see. It's starting to get some views. Tim's, right after this live stream, go find Tim Doust on YouTube and watch his unboxing. When you're done, You should ask, are we not entertained? I think it's hilarious. Okay, Gregory. Bye, Tim. Oh, Ollie already saw it. Hilarious unboxing. Okay. Frank says, hello, Frank. I love the autofocus on X. Do you think Raptor will get speed up on a firmware? Yeah, I don't know. So, Frank, what I don't know, and I haven't asked yet. If I do ask, I might get an answer. I might not, because I'm not entitled to an answer there. I might get an answer that I'm not allowed to share, or what have you. What I don't know is, does it require more physical horsepower to make the autofocus work? In other words, is there something that they did from Komodo to V-RAPTOR and then from V-RAPTOR to X that improves it physically? Or is it just software? I don't know. I do want to know. I just, I don't like to ask everything because I don't want to be that guy. I know that Komodo OG, which I don't like that name. I just like Komodo. Komodo autofocus is a lot better than it was when it first came out. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. V-RAPTOR, I only played with V-RAPTOR when it first came out, and it was better than Komodo was at the time. So I haven't played with V-RAPTOR's autofocus since then, so anybody with a V-RAPTOR could tell me if it's gotten better. X is better than what V-RAPTOR I remember by a lot. No, itchy nose, told you. I don't know. It's a good question. We could. We also could not. We don't know. I didn't have one of the RED pre-orders. I didn't put in for the pre-order, but I was really close. Oh, you were just saying. When you had one of the RED pre-orders, you got a bunch of accessories for free and got it all up and running for $17,500. Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember the $17,500 number. And I had it in my brain of 14 that basically that I could do. And that was all in. I literally had no ability beyond that. And when it went to 17, that was the end. There was no more for me. But, that's fine, because I promise you, I would have learned, but I was not in the right mode to have actually handled that RED. I would have been way in over my head. Right time for everything. And doing the way that I did, I don't think I would have traded that. I'm very self-taught in so many things, but I pull from the community like crazy. And I do that because I can figure some things out. And I'll figure out these two high-level things. But like the next moment, I won't even know the simplest thing because I didn't learn it classically. I didn't get an education that way. I just I stumble into things and I learn that way. And it's my brain. It's how I've done it. I mean, I did a very successful 28 years in IT, all the way up, without going to college. That's not true. I did go to college. I went to college for half a semester, and all the classes I took, I took Studio 1 and Studio 2 for music studio. I could take them both at the same time because literally the instructor laughed and knew exactly who I was or my brain was. I had such a good grasp on so many things that I could do Studio 2. But I needed Studio 1 to fill it in, so he made me take both of them at the same time. That was the only classes that I went to. All the others, I just kind of didn't go. And then I never went, but there you go. Sorry. I'm getting slow here. The LiDAR user experience with DJI would be better if there was a mobile app to help with the calibration and storing of the 3-lens profiles, tethered to the gimbal. Okay, fair enough. At first, that was the price for the body only, but somehow we ended up with a pretty huge store credit to get the accessories. But I don't remember. Okay, so that is kind of lining up with what my original memory was saying. I really need to go back and get all that information. I literally remember the moment that I had to say no to myself, that it was not going to happen. I remember I was sitting on this one red couch. It was kind of a plaid couch. I was sitting in my game room, and I had my laptop. It was a big, that was an HP 17-inch laptop, and I had like all these different tabs open for everything, and that was the moment when I said it just became unreachable for me, and probably was the best thing ever. I mean, Red was probably going, no, this is not for Scott. We'll just take this away from him. No, it really was. It was good. Phil, so Scott enjoys girls being painted via airbrush. I did like that video so much. You know, what really sold it to me, Phil, I know I've shared this with you, and I've shared it with other people. I mean, the skin, everything about it looked so good. But it was the level of detail that nailed it for me. The detail was probably the least, what's the right word? Probably the thing the model wishes the least was able to be seen. And I mean, literally zero disrespect to this model, because the model was absolutely beautiful. But you know, everybody has a little bit of hair here. Everybody, females, males, whatever. They all have a little bit. Just it tends to be finer in females. And when they're airbrushing, it showed them. They came out. And Dragon pulled it all out in such amazing detail, and I thought, wow, what a camera. Phil, please don't tell the model I said that, because she really was a very beautiful lady. I did not mean anything, but it was just such an awestruck camera moment there for me. The paint video blew my mind, especially the outdoor shot. Oh, I agree. Ouch, totally. Yes, I did next day. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. That's right. Do I own Sony FX3? No, I have the A7S III and the FX30, both of which will be for sale probably next week. You deserve the good stuff, but oh man, I deserve what I give out, and I hope it's positivity. I don't deserve that. It's just that. Yeah, you get it. Where does RED go from here now that SMC3 is unified and each resolution tier has 16 plus stops? More. I mean, I can see more stops. I can see them going to the 21-ish area. I don't know how much of a technological feat it's going to take to do that. Once we get past like mainstream 20, it's going to be hard for anything to come out of that, because we're not going to see it. Our eyes can see a very, very wide 24 plus stops. I think our vision can see, but we can't see it all at the same time. So we literally remap middle gray in our eyes, which is the most Matrix thing ever. If you're ever questioning life about Matrix, it's that. And then also, if you stare straight ahead for a long period of time, you get tunnel vision. When you click to the fact that is our internal compression saying, none of this has moved, we don't need to rewrite it, we don't need to refresh that data, and so it just starts to fade away. Those are the things that make you think, wow, maybe we are in the Matrix. Wow. Yeah, I think more resolution up to about 16K From there, I don't know what more than 16K gives you, other than the ability to punch in and crop in post. But 20 plus 20 plus stops of DR and 16K. I mean, that's probably the grail at that point, and then who knows where we go. Ooh, there was a firm rate today. Yes, there was. Y'all remember the on when I first got the X here, and we were calibrating the Komodo, and it was peaking was on, and it was causing the calibration to fail. That's fixed at that. Apparently, they did actually know about it, and they were working on it, and they had it fixed, but it was interestingly and exceptionally timely. Scott, remember to film that Project Smiling on the drive license photo. Oh, drive. Oh, yes. Thank you, Luca, for reminding me that. Yes, I have that in here. Oh, okay. So here's what I came up with. I've always talked about doing T-shirts and such. I came up with one today that I thought was pretty good, and I just typed it out. I don't know if it's as good. So y'all type it out to yourselves and see, does it literally translate properly, or does it allow people to read it wrong? But everybody always like, oh, you're just a Red fanboy. You're just a Red fanboy. Blah 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 blah. That people who hate Red, they're just negative, and they say that. But I thought, what about I'm a Red fam boy, FAM boy? I think that's pretty cool, actually, because Red is a family. It's a family of creatives that all come together and create amazing stuff, and they share. It's a great community. There's a lot of other communities out there that are like that, but I think Red Fanboy is kind of funny. It's not this channel. This is not a Red channel. I mean, I'm definitely going to be switching to all Red here, which is kind of funny. And I definitely love Red. But this isn't all filmmaking, but that could just be one of the shirts. Damn it. Talked again. Blew it out. It's probably my wife, probably soaked the back end of this with water so that I wouldn't smoke too much of it and get a headache. This is one of those cigars that, I said the bad word. It's one of those props that has that flavor that gives me a headache. It's an ashy flavor. 513 says, if there was a new RED Komodo other than X, what do you think the new RED Komodo upgrade will be? Frame rates, body design, and price. I think I think it will be a few years from now, a couple of years at the minimum, but it would probably be 8K global shutter, same size, my guess. Thank you for sharing the awesome story, Scott. Which story? Because I was long-winded. Okay, that's the right there. Robert clues me into that. Yes, Robert, exactly. Kessie, it should tell you about the person that Eric Kessler is and his company, and why I love. Well, now I get to do the tutorial videos for them, but it's why I loved being part of the Kessler community. I was not a Kessler shooter. I was just part of the community, but I loved the products. I knew that if I had an opinion, I could share it, and it would make its way to be heard. Not necessarily done. Believe me, I got some dumb thoughts. But it just goes to show you, when you're dealing with a company like Kessler, that you're getting a big, beautiful heart of a person who runs that company, and that company is run that exact way. So that is not a paid sponsorship of any kind. He does not pay me to say those things. I literally mean it from my heart. And it's why I tell people Kessler gear is simply amazing. There's more to it. Ollie says, DSM-C2 EVF was perfect. Cableless mount placement and quality. Yes, agreed. I should have gotten on board sooner on that one. Ollie says, technically they can. Yes, they can. It was interesting, though, to hear Jared talk about it on the Komodo-X release when he was talking about RMI and how many people are involved with that. So it does sound like there's like a consortium of RMI. Again, I don't know. What does Itchy know? Yeah, right. I was close when I got the R1, but maybe I was too stupid to know that now how much over ahead I was, but I learned how to operate the R1 one day. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it definitely, I would have figured it out, but I probably would have made a bunch of bonehead, dumb decisions along the path. Some of them probably would have cost me work and, that kind of stuff, but yeah. I hear you though, Gregory. Kelly says, sorry, Scott, you might have covered this already, and I might have missed it, but how is the response time on the Komodo compared to the original? You talk about the screen? Night and day. Yeah, we were laughing about it on the live stream, last one before this. We put them side by side, because I was like, yeah, it feels improved, and then we powered up, and it was night and day. I just didn't ever record in my brain how sluggish the actual Komodo was. I mean, it's like going to... like a brand new iPhone feel. It's just so smooth when you're scrolling up and down. Pretty amazing on its menu. Yep, got it. Yep. I still think Phil's Forged is so dope. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think Phil does too. A bonus of the Red One, what the lightweight media requirements, acquisition and archive media required. Yep. Oh man, I would have. I mean, if I had somehow scrounged up the remaining $3,000 to get that, I couldn't have afforded to shoot anything because I wouldn't have had any hard drive space to put it on. It says, it would be cool to do an in-person used camera gear event somewhere expo style. Interesting. That would be interesting. I wonder how that would work. How that could happen. I know a lot of like precision camera here in Austin does that. They'll have like I don't know what they call it. It's like Gear Weekend or Gear Saturday, and it's like every third weekend or something like that. I think you pay $20 and you get a little spot in this little room, and you can sell your camera stuff. Seems pretty reasonable. Oops. Gregory says, sounds good to me. Red fam is a perfect definition. So we could do famboy and famgirl. That should encompass red fam. Maybe instead of red fam boy, we could do. As you could say, I'm not a red fanboy. I'm a red fam, boy. I don't know. Komodo-X with RF 28 to 7020 rate for interview work using autofocus. I think you're saying great, the 28 to 70 is an impressive honker of a lens. It's huge, very, very, very pretty. I'm so jealous of Tim because Tim managed to buy one used for a price that's unheard of, and meanwhile we're all looking at him at $3,000. Red fanboys need an annual RedCon. Yeah, I know we do. We need Red still wants to do that that kind of not Cine Gear but something else, but not be Red just like everybody. But now he doesn't know where to do it because Red Studios are booked solid now. That would be cool at NAB. Then someone's going to come out and say, "Fam person." I know. I was concerned that, and I don't mean anything negative by it, except if you're, I don't mean fem, F-E-M is what I was afraid someone would read it as, and then it would become a bad joke to someone who is not, and a wrong thing for someone who is, and blah blah blah. And I don't, I'm not trying to take anybody off in the world, but I feel it could be maybe we just take it off. I'm not a Red fan, I'm a Red fam. Not a Red fan, Red fam. Maybe that. How about that? How's that sound? Absolutely, Ollie. Redcon. Unless we're talking about DSMC1, then it's Red Fan. It's Red Fan. No, it's Red Fan. Oh boy. Oh, I remember those days. Are you running timecode on your Komodo? On my Komodo, yes. On my, well, it's not my Komodo-X, so no. I have some time now to get the right parts in. I had a 9-pin to 9-pin to timecode cable that the audio guy at one of my previous jobs ripped the cable out. So I don't have the 9-pin timecode cable now, but that's what you would use on X for now. I mean, I think they could do some awesome red product teases and stuff at REDCon, but I much prefer what they just went through. Yeah, I kind of agree there, and I think as fun as it would be to be all encompassing for Red, I think Jared's right that it should just be for everybody. And just let it be like camera centric, like have Sony, have ARRI, have everybody there, and just have a good time showing off your cameras. Don't let it be a cutthroat competition there, because let's be honest, the Alexa 35, the V-RAPTOR, the V-RAPTOR, VistaVision, the Venice 2, these are all extremely capable cinema cameras, and we should all be able to have fun conversations with each other without being rude about it. It was funny today, though. Someone had posted something, and another person, a friend who's not a Red fam boy, posted something about how Red is just making too many cameras, just like they did in the past, and blah blah blah. And I mean, my thought was, there's four cameras. There's Komodo, there's Komodo-X. Neither of those, there's any options at all. So it's just Komodo, Komodo-X. There's V-RAPTOR, and that you can get in 2 flavors. You can get in Super 35 or VistaVision. And then there's XL, which you can get in Super 35 and VistaVision. That's 4 cameras. If you go down the list of Sony has Venice 2 in 2 flavors. Then they have FX9, FX6, they have FX3, they have FX30. Sounds like, and then, ARRI, you got Alexa 35, you got Alexa 65, you got Alexa LF, you've got Mini LF, you've got Alexa Mini, you've got Amira, you've got Alexa SXT. Sounds like everybody has a lot of cameras, And RED's the only one with fewer cameras. That was my comment, but it's kind of funny. But I do like the guy. I respect the guy. So I'm sure he took it as it was intended. Somebody new to the RED ecosystem, any recommendations where to turn to get up to speed, top YouTube channels, etc.? What up to speed do you need, Danny? I haven't covered it a lot on here. I mean, I talk about it all the time, but I haven't covered it as a walkthrough. And I was talking about doing it on Komodo, and maybe I should do it on X and Komodo. Just doing like a primer how to do it. But there's a lot of RED shooters out there now. And there's a lot of Komodo YouTube channels that talk about it. As for how, I don't know. I can't think of very many offhand. I'm not discounting anybody in here, Tim and Carlos and all that, because they do tend to talk more about filmmaking in general, but not necessarily always Komodo. I can't think of a channel other than, honestly, actually, yeah, RED's YouTube channel. They did a bunch during COVID. They did a bunch of learning lives where they would go through and show different parts of how to do parts of RED, how to expose it properly, how to work it in post, how to do all that kind of stuff. Honestly, go watch those. They're only an hour long, which is that's rookie numbers. Y'all need to pump those numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Go watch those videos. Those were actually really good, and they were very specific to the RED ecosystem. Reckless says, just came in. Have you had a time to shoot some more on RED Komodo-X? What do you think? I have. I've shot yesterday and today all morning long, and it is a fantastic camera. It is a double Komodo with great frame rates. Looks great. The audio is sublime. Come on now, Alex. Come on. I'm about done with it, though. You can see my nose is itching like crazy. But yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Checks so many boxes, and it does exactly what it does. And it's really good. It's really, the audio, it's really, really good. Greg says that have it take place in Derry, Ireland. What did you think about the Komodo X low light performance? I visually felt like it was slightly cleaner. I have not gone in. My time lapse last night fizzled out. The sun vanished behind some big thick clouds that produced no color pop. So I didn't get to fully enjoy that. We are going to go this weekend and shoot some night stuff in town. You kind of get some cool stuff. But so far, visually, it feels it's ever so slightly better. It's not massive, just ever so slightly better. I thought RED did a great job managing the information congestion with the release of KX. There were multiple sources of great hands-on info. Yes, true. RED did, yeah, okay, thank you, Ollie. Plenty of tutorials. Yeah, solitary series, that's what it was. Yes, those were really, really good. Yeah, they're hosted by a really good guy. You like them. Tyler, yo, what do you think, Tyler? What you think about your Komodo X? Is it good? Is it good? Is it good? Oh, there it is. Shadows are looking great. There you go. There you go. Tyler Edwards, Mr. Edwards. How's the X holding up? Thompson. Prop burn through already. Yep. Yeehaw. Sounds freaking great. I've been checking the new RF lock, and I don't think the Kipper tie revolver for my Komodo will fit. Oh, also, it does appear most cages are not going to fit. There's two things. One is the lock. it gets in the way. The other is on the right side, I guess, to flare out a little bit for the ports in the back. That gets in the way because I saw somebody said the Condor Blue would not fit either. So there may not be any cages that directly fit. It wasn't on purpose, I'm sure. Barefoot says, gotta go. It's 4:20 in the morning. Wow. Go get some sleep. Thanks for joining. Ollie's so good. Well, to be fair, I was stuck in the editing bay all day and the weather sucks for test footage, but from what I've been able to capture, tests look awesome. Yeah, Tyler, go shoot two widescreen 6K, 100 frames a second, and put it in MQ mode, and go look at that footage. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Where am I at? I'm 2 hours. I'm gonna end this here in 10 minutes because I need to eat, and then we need to go shoot some more stuff. Ollie says, RED Komodo-X, word index. Komodo-X, new Komodo, KX, RKX, the X. New G, Komodo. Also, new hotness. You can say new hotness. The programmable buttons are dope. They are. I have the front. Half press is autofocus. Press is record. The side is half press peaking, which I'm going to change. Full press is zoom in SDI. I loves it. Means I don't have to go through the little top screen. Good info, sir. Thank you very much. 5K 96 is the sweet spot for the camera, but did you shoot it in MQ? Shoot it in MQ and get back to me. I managed to make ELQ not look as impressive, but it was so many millions of moving things. Fields of wheat. There's a lot of data for that compression. Condor Blue now fits after a Dremel and a rattle can. That's right. That's funny. Yeah, you posted it, right? Yeah, Mark. Good to see you on here, Mark. Komodo RX, the prescription Komodo no, it's not for YouTubers. It's for everyone. Because it's basically Dragon. Basically. I mean, feature-wise. Plus audio. Tyler, try the audio. It's so good. LOL, Scott. The image you're getting from the KX from this live stream is off the charts. This is not the KX. This is Dragon. But thank you. I mean, Dragon, at the very minimum, Dragon will live here. But I feel guilty for putting Dragon here permanently. But it's a nice spot for it to be right now. And we're going all red, which is going to be tough for me because I need 4 cameras for not this. I mean, we need a puppy cam. Puppy cam needs to be it's going to be puppy cam. Puppy cam might end up being Komodo-X. You might get the highest quality because the overhead is going to be Komodo, and that's really, you don't really need the side shot of me. That was just me having fun. But on the cooking channel, it's I need 4 cameras. So we'll see what I do there. Yup. Tyler says, I need to get the XLR adapter. I have 3.5 adapter coming via FedEx, messing things up. You can get the IRIX cables on Amazon. You can use my link down below and order it. If you just type in a mini 5-pin to 2XLR, you'll see the IRIX cables there for $59.99, and they work like a champ. Ollie is making me buy a Dragon. Yeah, if you don't buy it, he's just going to buy it. Ollie's going to collect all the Dragons. He's going to have like a little Dragon den in his house. I need to get a KX. My RX comment was too late, Ollie. get a used R1 as a, man, that would be brutal. It needs to be something that's good with low light though. Because like that down there, that's an ISO 5000 because I don't like that part of the studio. I mean, he's getting a little bit of bounce from the key here, but yeah. I always like, it's timeless. Alvin cable. See, that's twice I did that today, and I just reversed it again. Alvin cables. Thank you, Ollie. Alvin cables. Type in mini 5-pin dual XLR Alvin cable. It's $59.99. Please use my Amazon affiliate link so I can earn my 5 cents. Danny says, paying gigs. How many cameras? I see a lot of guys say 3 is the minimum for interview package. No. 2 is the bare minimum for an interview package, unless it is a rapid run and gun style. The third is going to be on motion. So you're going to have a wide main cam. You're going to have a B cam that is slightly pushed in, or you can reverse that if you want. And then the third would be like on a Kessler slider, where it's kind of doing a roving kind of fill shot. You need I mean, you could do it with one cam. If you shoot it wide, then you can just punch in post. And you could get that non-jump cut feel. But 2 is all you really need to break it up, to break that interview up and be able to get the audio to cut nicely. 1 is pushing it. 3 is like the best, most awesome interview. Tyler says, I'm H-Snap. That's awesome. I was about to order the RED version, but no mounting option right now. Right. I don't mean to take away business from RED. I have a feeling everybody will do and enjoy the new I/O module, I'm guessing. DSMC 1 MX for doggy cam. Maybe. It'd be pretty funny if I put Dragon down there, but it would look. Dragon is weak spot is the low light. I'd probably just need the light for Rex, just to kind of give him a nice big soft light. Because right now he's kind of flat. I need to flag him off. Just think chipmunks. Alvin! Oh, snap, typo. Oh, you're like, oh, H-snap. Scott, do you think Arri Sky Panel still makes sense to buy brand new? No. Wait. Just wait. I think Sky Panel is going to get a little refresh here. Plus, there's a lot of other good panels out there that you can consider. I wouldn't buy one new. Sky Panel, no. Plans for Cine Gear, or is it topic reserved for next Friday? No. See, next Friday. What is next Friday? I need to make sure. Yeah, next Friday. No, next Friday's fine. No, it's not reserved for next Friday, but my plans are to go to Cine Gear. So Sunday, I will be going to all the barbecues. Tiffin usually does one. I haven't seen that coming through, but there's Cine Beer at Hot Rod. And then there is the barbecue at Matthews. Always a good time. I will not miss. I literally pushed my reservation one day so that I could go to the Matthews barbecue. In fact, if you sign up for the Matthews barbecue and you go to their Eventbrite page, you'll find me right at the very edge of the photo. That photo was taken by sorry, I totally lost his name, but the owner of Matthews. He took the picture of everybody. I was first in line. I wanted so badly, and so there I am. You'll see Tim, you'll see Curtis, you see so many people in that. It's a great thing. Definitely do that. I will be going to Cine Gear both Friday and Saturday, and then any parties that happen, I probably will be at those. Tyler says, got my 2 terabyte RED card in. Feels good to feel safe. Exactly. Michael says, see you next show. Going to shoot with my Komodo. Rhymes. You go. Thanks. Wish I could go to Cine Gear. You can. You can do it. It's just a longer flight for you now. Take some pepper to the barbecue. Does anybody know, is there any restriction to that on an airplane? I feel like bringing salt and pepper on an airplane is probably going to set off some freaking red flags. I would bring some. I truly would, and I honestly was thinking about it, but I don't know how to do it. I mean, it literally says salt and pepper. I need to get some more freaking labels. All right, I'll bring some. I'll figure it out. Same planning for next year. Next year, hopefully for me. I'll figure it out. I need to do it. Right now, my labels are pathetic. The wife was hooking up printers for her work, and she accidentally connected to my label printer and printed off a form, and obviously it wasn't the right language, so it literally put like a line on every label and spit out the whole spool of labels. So I ran out of my proper labels, and so like when I sent Jared his large thing of pepper and salt, the label was tiny and pathetic, and they got a good laugh of it. Ripped that sucker right off, he said. Salt and pepper, good to go. Yep. Are you sure, though? I mean, literally, Tyler, I would be packing, like, probably a vacuum-sealed bag of bags of salt and pepper, all in a... It's got to be funny. We are taking a 10.5-hour flight to Cine Gear. Toddler in tow. Wow. Toddler's going to be... going to be fun. It'll work out. Babies always sleep at some point. Suggestions for a label printer? Depends on what labels you want. I have the Brother labeler. It's a USB and Wi-Fi labeler. It's pretty good, but you have to buy their labels. But it works. I forget what they call it, like the 735 BW or something like that. It works. Just moved. Prods are in full gear, and I have to get Komodo-X footage out into the wild. Yep. Scott, go on TikTok and start a smoked pepper black or barbecue page. 1 viral video, and you'll need more than a label maker. You think? I feel like my face and my personality and just me don't translate to TikTok well. That's what I feel like. Oh, I heard about the Brother. Was that between that and the Dynamo? Yep. Fair enough. It's a good idea, Ollie. Scott has the Texas vibe. We'll see. That's part of the cooking channel. It's what I want to do with it, is to do all of that. But I was in a production hell here inside where I couldn't get anything shot for the cooking, and I feel horrible. Y'all have heard it many times every time I do that. I am not abandoning the cooking show. I have so many plans for it. So many. Including redoing all the sets in here to keep that from happening in the future. And Glenn and Friends, who was on here the other day, I want to link up with him and have some chats and see if I can slim down my productions a little bit here, because he has such a nice cooking show shot on Reds. Have you tried vampire salt? I have not. Well, I have heard that, though. What is that? All right, I got just a couple minutes. I want to jump out of here because I need to go eat before I go shoot. Your choice. I'm just trying to get you that Raptor before DSMC4. Yep, I hear you. Smoked black salt. Smoked black salt. I don't know that I've ever heard of black salt. What is black salt? I'll tell you, Frank, my smoked salt is pretty good. It's pretty good. Frank would approve. He would. And my Applewood smoked pepper, also really, really good. Because we're Dragon Bros. I haven't used Scott jumped into the Raptor. Me is been finances. Been 100% finances on that. And me wanting to be very, very organic. I want to grow everything organically, and it includes my business. And a lot of insecurity, but I'm becoming more and more secure. Once I've done something a few times, and I don't make any kind of dumb mistakes like my whole wedding years, then I have zero problems just running out in the world and doing it. And I've done so many things, but things are starting to line up now where I think things are going to take off, and financially, Super 35 V-RAPTOR was going to be this fall. Now it's X, which means probably Christmas for Super 35. Frank says, Amazon, I want to try your salt. Well, I'm not going to sell it on Amazon, that's for sure. I think you mean Amazon for the black salt. I'll look that up. Amazon takes too much money. Ollie says, I'm a Super 35 guy, and X just came out. LOL. I hear you. Okay. Well, I think that is going to wrap up this stream. Let's see what the viewer activity is. Well, that's a weird concurrent view. Where's the peak? Where doesn't it say the peak anymore? Really? It used to say what the peak was. I know we had a lot of people on here. We had, what did we peak at, like 47? It's only telling me 27 concurrent views. I don't know how that works. I literally saw 47 concurrent views on the one page. That's why I said it's all messed up. Gregory says, you are absolutely right about the organic growth. Sterilized manure works wonders too. Just throw some money at the Raptor from your IT bonuses. No, those are gone. Those are gone. COVID, thank you for taking that all out. I literally had this master plan. It was all, but also COVID, thank you. Because it was all lined up. We were moving to LA in 2020. It was all lined up. And I'm kind of glad that COVID, not really, but I'm kind of glad that COVID happened and maybe changed my mind. I just bought Komodo OG and feel no remorse about KX. Excellent. That is exactly the way you should be, Eric. If Komodo met your needs, then don't feel a thing about X. There's no reason to feel bad about a purchase because it met your needs. And at some point, when Komodo doesn't meet your needs, now there's a perfect solution to that, and Komodo becomes the perfect B cam. You cannot lose in that. Remorse, different animal. Ha! Don't worry about it. Don't worry. The pandemic ruined everyone's planning and helped me not move to LA because LA is crazy now. It was crazy during COVID too. Wasn't a big fan of how they were doing everything. I'm not getting into that, but people are people. Stick to your choices. Right. Whoa, Scott in LA. It was going to. It ain't going to now. I'm worried about people in LA now too because I'm afraid for what's going to happen in the industry. There's no such thing as a bad red purchase. That's true. Well, hydrogen. I mean, I'm a truth guy. I'm not a fanboy. I'm a truth guy. Hydrogen was horrible. There are no good barbecue here. You can fill that void, Scott. No, there's not. And I've had some there, King. But, King, since you are so close, I want you to do this for me, King. And I hope we meet, so maybe we can do it together. Hotsville Chicken and Chops, or Hotsville Chicken and Chops, I think is the name of it. Find it on Facebook. They have a pop-up Nashville hot chicken truck now because she literally started her Hotsville chicken right before COVID hit. And she endured 2 years of it in the store and everything. and then had to close it because she couldn't get traction because COVID destroyed her entire bankroll for her rollout. It was horrible. But she's a wonderful person, Kim Prince. And I think she has a partner. I don't know them. But her chicken, so good. And we're going to find it, and we're gonna have some. But you follow that Facebook page. And then when you do, just say, Balcom sent me here. Yeah. And then go eat that hot chicken. It's so good because I want her to have that that restaurant again. She deserves it. It's so good. So good chicken. There were a bunch of us last year at Cine Gear that went. Even Mr. Holland went and loved it. Loved it. Now there's a title of a great family movie. Scott, you're supposed to be on a picket line right now. Damn you, COVID. Come on, my hydrogen phones are still running and pretty reliable for what they are. Not speaking as a fanboy, I was not at all impressed with hydrogen. Let me look it up. Hotsville, no, it's Hotville. Hotville? Yeah, Hotville. Hotville, Chicken and Chops, LA. Hotville. Do that. So good. So good. And you'll find my picture out there because it's so good. There I am. There I am. Let's see here. You can kind of see there was our day of chickenless. I can't. I mean, look at this. Look at that delicious hot chicken. And there's Kim, and there's me. We actually went to junior high together in Nashville. And she is the grandniece of the original Prince's Hot Chicken in Nashville. She, I think, great grandniece, whatever. Yeah. Here's Phil and Curtis and Tim and Kim and me all enjoying hot chicken. Hot chicken. So good. Okay. Yo, Matt, just signing off, bro. Hope you got your Komodo and you're enjoying it. Hey, Ali, my hydrogen may lack some features today's standards, but battery life is insane, and the build is practically bulletproof. Yeah, but that screen, not for me. Okay, everyone have a fantastic, it is weekend, right? I'm not doing a live stream in the middle of the week now. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you soon. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Boop. At least I spelled it right this time. Thanks for losing track of time. I did. I blew 42 minutes technically. Have a great weekend. All right. Bye, everyone. Going to stop streaming. Peace out. Your stream? Yes.